in the Cloud Continent. The most legendary cultivation method is undoubtedly pure, boundless yang. It's said to be overwhelmingly powerful, but the barrier to entry is terrifyingly high. For a full millennium, not a single soul has managed to master it. Just as I thought this thing was just a myth. He makes his grand entrance, calling himself Yi Guluo. He's the youngest sect master in the history of the Cloud Immortal sect. At a tender age, he's reached the Earth Immortal peak, commanding the continent's mightiest sect and treasures piled high. Man, he checked every box on the braggart list, short of literally tattooing "I'm #1" on his forehead. And of course, our man is already getting full of himself. 99 divine swords, 108 ancient mystic treasures, it's just a snack to him. He even starts philosophizing under the stars, reaching the brilliant conclusion. Technically speaking, I'm invincible. Just as his ego was about to launch into orbit, boom, a bloody red sword light slashes towards him without warning, followed by a barrage of cyan blades from all directions surrounding him. The once confident sect master immediately panics, his mind racing with a single thought: rip through space, escape to the cosmic void, and hide. Little did he expect, the first one bursting onto the scene was one of his own harem. The Thunder Master herself, Lu Xiaoyu. Look at her stance, hands weaving seals, chanting incantations, the light from the Thunder Talisman on her chest practically blinding. Lu Xiaoyu dispenses with pleasantries, directly unleashing the ultimate Thunder technique, 5 Thunder Righteous Law. Strike, I command you. With her decree, terrifying energy converges instantly. Our poor Yi Guluo is about to find out what righteous light truly feels like. All right, folks, strap in. The legendary Mount Longhu is having a very, very bad day. Lu Xiaoyu, one of Yi Gulu's not-so-loving admirers, pulls out the big guns, the 5 Thunders rectification technique. A beam of pure divine wrath carves through the sky and just demolishes the entire main peak. Seriously, a whole mountain gone? Because of a lover's spat. Then, a second strike shatters his defenses, his protective robe, his 5 immortal sword aura. Everything's vaporized. Talk about starting off with a bang or a boom. Just dodged a god-level lightning strike? Great. Now you get launched into the stratosphere. The lingering power from Lu Xiaoyu's attack is still crackling around him, shattering his internal defenses. As he's falling, a new challenger enters the arena. Fei Hong, the demonic master, ascends onto the cosmic stage using raw power. Her arrival is ice cold. Yi Gulu tries to break the tension with a flippant "morning, good to see you." She doesn't even dignify it with a word. Her hands snap into a seal. Indra, 30 heavenly powers, 30 manifestations of divine power, transform into golden arms. Her purpose is clear. She's not here to talk. She's the first hunter in the snare. See that? That's the power of a demonic master named Fei Hong. No warnings, no negotiations. The power of 30 heavens condenses into a divine seal, massive golden arms blotting out the stars with a single command: fall. This is not a negotiation. This is an execution. Boom! It hits. The divine decree of the 30 heavens chases him down. A pillar of celestial punishment plummets from the heavens and smashes Yi Gulu straight into the earth. The ground erupts, debris flies higher than the clouds. Anyone else would have been atomized. But his scream proves one thing: he's still alive. This elaborate hunt for him is only just beginning. The real trap is being set. The dust clears. Yi Gulu's protective robe is gone. He looks rough. Wait, who's that? It's his little sister, Yin Yu, Grand Assistant Sect Master. She runs up, breathless, face full of genuine, heartbreaking concern. Brother, are you all right? As long as you're not hurt, all's well, sweet, right? Comforting, right? Wrong. Folks, always remember, the deadliest trap is always the one you least expect. The moment he thinks he's found safe harbor, that's when she strikes. Her sweet expression freezes, and a barrier-sealing technique erupts from her hands. The real capture comes from the one he trusted most. Talk about a toxic harem. When your sister says, "Now big brother can't run away," but instead of a hug, she slaps you with the strongest sealing spell the continent's ever seen. That's basically the start of Yi Gulu's worst day. Paralyzed, magic sealed, utterly helpless. And you thought your exes were bad? For him, the nightmare is just beginning. Just when you think it can't get worse, the master of poisons arrives. Murong Yuzhua, the leader of the 5 poison sect, doesn't believe in overkill. She sees the seal and thinks, nah, not strong enough. So what does she do? Injects him with a lethal immortal poison. Because why just trap the strongest cultivator when you can also ensure he has 0 chance of ever fighting back. Classic teamwork. Poison paralyzed. What's next? An old friend comes to help. Mubai, the leader of Shu Mountain Sword Sect and his former disciple, walks up, handing over a legendary sword. Take this, she says. The irony? Yigu Lu recognizes it instantly. It's the very same Slay the Dragon sword array he taught her. They're not just beating him, they're throwing his own lessons back in his face with full sarcasm. The disrespect is truly legendary. The circle is now complete. Yigu Lu looks around. All 5 of them, the 5 most powerful female immortals on the continent besides him, have him surrounded. Sealed, poisoned, mocked, and outnumbered. Pinned at the center of their formation, utterly helpless. You'd think they're here to finish him off for good, right? Wrong. The next question they're about to ask is a fate far worse than death. 5 women, each powerful enough to shake the heavens, close in on him. Their gazes burn with fury, anticipation, and cruel amusement. And they unleash the one question that strikes deeper than any sword. Tell us, which one of us is your favorite? Look at his face, pure, unadulterated panic. He'd rather face a celestial tribulation than answer that cursed question. The ultimate multiple-choice nightmare. And he's the sole, trapped contestant. You think ascending to a higher realm would let you escape? Huh, too naive. One second you're basking in the glow of a dragon-slaying sword array. The next, everything goes dark. When Yigu Lu's consciousness swims back, he's utterly lost. His identity, his location, his cultivation power, everything's gone. And just as he's trying to piece it together, he turns to find the ultimate plot twist in his bed. A complete stranger, a beautiful blonde elf with pointed ears, lying there in a suggestive pose. Yigu Lu's brain short-circuits. What in the world is this new chapter? Flashback to the moment before the teleportation, the real, inescapable trap. His own disciple, the little sister he watched grow up, the demonic ladies and sect masters he once fought alongside, the 5 strongest women on the entire continent, all teaming up to corner him. Yigu Lu, the invincible cultivator, finds himself completely immobilized, a puppet on strings. They surround him, their expressions a terrifying mix of emotions. They aren't here to kill him. No, they want the one thing more terrifying, an answer they won't let him avoid. Just look at this lineup. Master Lu Xiaoyu of the Thunder Arts, Protector Yin Yuyu of the Sect, Poison Master Yuzhua, Sword Emperor Mu Bai, the powerful demon Venerable Fei Hong. Each a stunningly beautiful powerhouse who could shake the continent alone. Now, they formed a united front, their faces tinged with an unsettling blush as they say his name in unison. A chill runs down Yigu Lu's spine. This isn't a confession booth. It's an executioner's court for a life-or-death question. Look at him. Yigu Lu, the strongest cultivator in all of Yunlai continent, is completely surrounded. Trapped. The glowing flying swords above him make any escape impossible. What landed him in this mess? The pure, unbounded Yang technique made him invincible, but his master warned him. Touch a woman? From vomiting blood to severe convulsions. In the absolute worst case, he'll just straight up explode. He was furious. Why tell me now, old man? He wanted to rage, quit this entire cultivation path. But a thought struck him, a power this absurdly strong, a little catch seems expected. Besides, with his talent and looks, admirers were everywhere. Taking a nap under a tree brought compliments. Meditating on a mountain filled his arms with gifts from beautiful disciples. Life was perfect, or so he thought. Unfortunately, the trouble began exactly where you'd expect, with admirers. One boldly offers to dual cultivate with him, prompting a full-body cringe. Another, blushing furiously, insists she meant for sword practice together. Yeah, sure. And then, hearing his cute younger sister vow to always be by his side, that was the final straw. The contradictions and desires were tearing him apart from the inside. His master wasn't lying. Every time things got heated with a woman, he'd vomit blood and convulse violently, the technique ruthlessly enforcing its rules. On his knees, tears streaming, he rages, I hate this. All these good relationships, I'll have to drop them. Just like that, the world's greatest warrior was sentenced to eternal virginity. Dual cultivation? The joke's on me. In the end, the one destined to be alone forever is me. But he was dreaming if he thought he could just walk away. These women, consumed by his power and charm, weren't letting him go. Just be with me, one weeps. A world without you is meaningless, declares another. It's not a confession, it's an emotional siege. Backed into a corner, staring at his own glowing sword, a mad grin spreads across Yigu Lu's face. If he can't solve the problem, he'll erase it. Screw it. All of you, you leave me no choice, he thinks. He'll force an ascension and escape this entire messed-up situation. The ultimate playboy faces the deadliest multiple-choice question of his life. Picking one, Yigu Lu, the strongest cultivator, sees a ghostly figure in his mind and starts sweating bullets. Choose one, and the other four goddess-level vengeance seekers will raise the entire mountain. How about rejecting them all? That thought alone splashes the background with blood. Our boy Yi is terrified. He's got no time to think, because 3 of his furious lovers are already at his doorstep, demanding an answer today. This isn't a negotiation. It's a final warning before the bloodbath. Thinking of escaping? Too late, buddy. The tables have completely turned on Yigu Lu, courtesy of his 5 flowers. Mu Bai's dragon-slaying sword formation seals his escape routes. Lu Xiaoyu's thunder magic shatters his defenses, and the poison from Yuzhua Murong floods his entire system. The once strongest cultivator sits cross-legged, Fei Hong's sword lodged in his skull, a dragon trapped in the abyss with nowhere to run. He admits it himself. Even absolute power is useless against absolute, desperate affection. That look on his face makes you think it's over, right? However, do you sisters really think you can keep this master down with the things he taught you? A cocky, knowing smirk spreads across Yigu Lu's face. The sealing blue light erupts from his body. Trying to seal me? Did I ever teach you the counters when I was your teacher? Too naive, ladies. He looks up to the sky, his aura beginning to surge violently. This isn't surrender. This is him preparing to flip the entire table. Pushing me to the edge, huh? Fine, let's burn it all down. Yigu Lu goes absolutely ballistic. He sacrifices the 7 mortal souls of his physical body to break free from the imprisoning spikes. Then, with his 3 remaining immortal souls, he forcefully resists the lethal backlash of the god-slaying powder. His final trump card, summoning the 9-fold heavenly tribulation to forcibly shatter this ultimate sealing array designed just for him. In this moment, he's not the playboy running from love debts, but the ultimate rebel who'd rather be shattered to dust than be caged. This is Yigu Lu, the legendary cultivator. He stands at the peak, a master of artifacts, swords, and medicine, a hero who quelled ancient demons and saved countless lives. His list of achievements could crush a man. But look closer at his eyes, hollower than the abyss itself. All the glory and power in the world can't patch up the void inside him. He can fool everyone, but can he fool himself? Unbelievable. To escape the deadly pursuit from his harem and their ultimate choose me or her death sentence, Yigu Lu forced a premature ascension and literally blasted himself out of the mortal realm. He's filled with regret and loneliness now, swearing he'll never touch that cursed art again, yet secretly missing Xiaoyu and Yuyu and the others. What a mess. But he spoke too soon. The moment he vanished, the sky tore itself apart. 5 pillars of colored light shot into the cosmos right after him, lighting up the heavens like New Year's fireworks. Xiaoyu and the other 4 dear sisters, all powerhouse cultivators, ascended right on his tail. His great escape just turned into a group isekai tour. Yigu Lu is utterly speechless. A dizzying spin, and his consciousness drifts away like a severed kite string. He feels utterly hollowed out, every bit of his power, every sense, fading fast. Is this the price of forced ascension? The last things he registers are the warmth of sunlight, the chirping of birds outside, and the gentle rustle of wind through thatch. Then darkness swallows it all. When he opens his eyes again, complete bewilderment. This is no immortal realm. These wooden beams, this fireplace, these stained glass windows. It's like a foreigner's manor. He tries to channel his power, but his body is completely empty, just like a mortal's. He gets it now. This ascendance wiped his slate clean, reset to level 1, skills gone, map changed. The top-tier powerhouse is forced into a new player start. How's that for an isekai curveball? Stranded in a new world, Yigu Lu's first real test isn't a monster or a spell. It's this stunning, flirtatious blonde elf cornering him in a bedroom. Look at him sweating bullets, eyes wide with horror. After escaping an entire harem, getting this close to another woman feels more terrifying than Lu Xiaoyu's lightning strikes. What does she want with that MM? The universe really won't let this poor guy catch a break. His Dao heart is in shambles. Confronted by an elf of ethereal beauty, the supposedly unshakable top cultivator is having a full-blown internal meltdown. One moment he's clinging to his pure yang code, the next he's dreaming about finally being free. He claims to be a gentleman, but his imagination is already 10 steps ahead, planning a future together. The speed of his self-deception is faster than his sword-flying technique. Now, this is what you call an awkward encounter. Meet our silver-haired hero Lu Xiaoyu, who's clearly been pent up for too long. She starts daydreaming about protecting the shy elf sister, muttering a whole "hey, don't worry, I've got you" monologue with a creepy smile. But her cool savior act instantly crumbles into full-blown psycho vibes. Look at the poor elf's horrified face. That final, sky-shattering scream of "psycho" speaks for all of us. Xiaoyu, your character development took a dark turn real quick. Talk about a plot twist at mock speed. One moment, Yigu Lu is strung up like a criminal, a mob of elves chanting for his execution. The next, he simply lifts his head and shows his face. Cue the record scratch. Wait, he looks like that. So handsome. No way a beast man is this pretty. Unbelievable. His signature passive skill, Justice Through Jawline, works even across dimensions. Scanning the crowd of ethereal beauties, a single, triumphant thought echoes in his mind. Jackpot. This is definitely an upgrade. Exhibit A in the case of blatant double standards. Luna, the young village chief, storms in ready to deliver justice for a peeping Tom. But the moment she locks eyes with the upside-down criminal, her righteous anger evaporates into a cloud of love-struck sparks. So handsome. Even the original complainant, Luna herself, does a complete 180 and starts pleading his case. So this chosen one from the prophecy was chosen for his looks all along? Yigu Lu, your face is the most powerful cultivation technique you brought to this new world. Yigu Lu barely sets foot in the elven village and gets reported as a pervert. Turns out, after being chased by all his cultivation world paramours, his eyesight's gone to hell. He got caught staring at an elven girl and got apprehended on the spot. He scrambles to explain it's all a misunderstanding, a side effect of his brother's eye disease. But get this, instead of getting angry, the elven girls collectively start feeling sorry for him. So handsome, yet so tragically ill. He looks even more appealing when he's sick. Are these elves just way too gullible? Only the village chief Luna sees through it all, wearing a face full of exasperation. But with her sister and the whole village buying his story, she has no choice. She plays along, inviting this poor traveler to her room for some compensation. Man, out of the frying pan and right into a honey trap, escorted straight to Luna's private chambers for some VIP treatment. Yigu Lu is getting majorly uncomfortable. Luna gets up close and personal, her voice sugary sweet, promising to personally serve her new guest. Yigu Lu is internally screaming, "Lady, I just wanted to ask for directions and learn about the local customs." He scrambles to clarify, desperate to avoid any more misunderstandings. But hearing this, Luna gets even more fired up, thinking, what a proper gentleman. Since it's what you want, don't hold back. She immediately moves to offer herself on a silver platter. Yigu Lu is sweating bullets. This plot twist is way off. But just as things are about to get wild, the door slams open. A villager rushes in, yelling, "Chief, scouts report traces of orc activity nearby." Well, that ruined the mood. The romantic crisis just turned into a do-or-die crisis. The terrible news drops. The orc army arrives in 3 days, and the elven village is on the brink. But the real kicker? The elves' first move to solve this crisis is to beat the living daylights out of Yigu Lu. This one wham! Luna's sister unleashes a haymaker, sending Yigu Lu flying. Dazed on the ground, he's questioning his entire existence. What in the heavens did I do wrong this time? He timidly suggests requesting reinforcements from the city, only to be shot down. It's far too late for that. Even 2 bystanders are baffled, asking why they're beating him up first. The puncher declares with conviction, "I suspect he's an orc spy," then immediately contradicts herself. Impossible. He's way too handsome to be involved with them. She ends by yelling, "So stop beating the crap out of him." Lady, did your logic get struck by lightning? Beat him up first, then compliment him? Yigu Lu's new world adventure is shaping up to be a bizarre mix of handsome and horribly unlucky. Called it. That beautiful legend from before? Total fantasy for children. The scene brutally cuts to the day that perfect harmony ended. A single, used cucumber becomes the nuke that obliterated divine friendship. Moon goddess Bong Fai loses it completely, pointing an accusing finger at Earth goddess Sidamo. "You just recklessly throw away your used cucumber?" Sidamo fires right back. "How dare you frame me? This is clearly yours." The argument escalates at lightning speed from mutual blame to vicious personal attacks. "You whore, your flat chest couldn't possibly handle this." They end up in a simultaneous roar. "It's yours." "No, Joe's." So the cataclysmic war that split the races started because 2 goddesses refused to take responsibility for one dubious cucumber. If Yigula knew this bit of history, he'd probably cough up 3 liters of blood on the spot. I, the strongest cultivator from the Cloud Continent, crossed worlds just to get tangled up in this level of absurd drama? Just picture it. Yigu Lu, the strongest cultivator cursed to stay a virgin, finds himself stranded in this strange new world along with the 5 powerhouse bachelorettes who are out for his head. He's got one thought in mind. I'm screwed. Look at those 2 figures banging their heads in despair. That's him every single day. The scene cuts to a legendary ancient feud. 2 gods, once close, turn on each other in a clash that scorched the heavens for days. Spoiler alert, they couldn't settle it, so they split. The moon goddess's descendants? That's the elegant, beautiful race of elves. The earth goddess's lineage? Well, let's just say the story gets a lot stickier. Hugh, the blonde elf girl, venting her absolute fury about why the hell is evolution in this world so screwed up? You can practically see Yigu Lu's facepalm from across the comic panel. Trying to pull a fast one on a veteran cultivator? Not a chance. Yigu Lu snatched up the so-called ancient sacred book and flipped it open with a smirk. Hold up, he said, pointing at the page. This ink looks fresher than my meditation session last night. Village chief, if you're going to fake a prophecy, at least use some aged materials. The young mayor went beet red, screeching about her 18-generation lineage. But then, in a moment of clumsy panic, he turns the book over. On the back, in what looks like a desperate scribble, is a single line. Please give me a man. The room goes dead silent. Don't read it upside down, he shouts, but the damage is done. Your secret's out, chief. Cringe fest level, maximum. When the chief dangles wealth and even offers to send over 3 elf maids as a deposit, guess how he reacts? On the outside, no, I fight for justice, not for material gain. His inner dialogue, 3. Internal screaming, for a glorious, spark-filled panel. Man was this close to losing it. But years of narrowly escaping marriage traps have honed his self-control. He takes a deep breath, requests some alone time, and retreats. And where does the mightiest cultivator from Yunlai continent choose for his first meditation session? A quaint little outhouse with a cartoon bear on the door. No yoke. Peeking inside, he finds his once mighty cultivation base completely erased, his foundational techniques gone. All that's left are empty meridians and dormant spiritual roots, a blank slate waiting to be filled again. All right then, time for a hard reset. Yigu Lu's alt account is loading up. Talk about a plot twist. Yigu Lu, who thought he'd lost everything in the transmigration, actually pulled out his ultimate stash under the foreign stars. The Kunlun chest held the 999 divine swords he'd collected, and the Goeishu bag overflowed with 108 priceless treasures. The once unrivaled Immortal, meditating in the void, couldn't help but laugh at the sight of his old gear. He's thinking, strength is gone, but the bling is strong. With these bad boys, who can stop me in this new world? No sooner had Yigu Lu declared his grand plan to reclaim his glory with these artifacts, than the very next second, all hell broke loose. A blue energy explosion, familiar enough to make his hair stand on end, detonated before his eyes, shattering his newfound ambition to dust. Are they here already? The mere thought sent a chill down his spine. It finally dawned on him. This ascension wasn't an escape. It was a bundle deal, with his 5 most formidable harem members tagging right along to his new personal hell. One moment, he's declaring his grand comeback. The next, reality hits him like a ton of bricks. The look on Yigu Lu's face when he sees his ultimate artifacts is priceless. The world-ending divine swords? Gone. Replaced by a measly C-grade toilet paper man and an utterly ordinary mahogany sword. The power drop-off is more brutal than getting demoted from a game god to a tutorial bot. Staring at the suspiciously glowing realm seal in his hand, young Fu's ego takes a nosedive. So, did the universe just hard reset my account? This time, Yigu Lu has officially hit rock bottom. Hidden in a dilapidated building, he's having a full-blown meltdown. I'm so void of power, I can't even access my inventory. The words extremely hollow practically flash above his head. It's the ultimate faceplant for a once godly cultivator. Mana depleted, treasure sealed, reduced to a bag of common grade trash. And the punchline? Just as his soul is leaving his body in despair, a pair of cold, predatory eyes is already watching him from the shadowy forest outside. Who's there? Yeguno's sensei scream. Freshly ice-skied, power level equals 1, gear equals trash, and now a mysterious threat? This new world is not messing around. And now, for the piece de resistance of embarrassment. Before Yigu Lu could even find a safe spot to regain his strength, he walked headfirst into a world-class misunderstanding. Literally. just minding his own business, and looking for a place to clean up, he managed to get his head stuck in the bathroom window of an ethereal elven maiden. Caught red-handed, his brilliant cover story about hunting beastman spies was instantly shot down by the girl's deadpan retort. Stung and flustered, in a desperate bid to salvage some shred of expert dignity, Yigu Lu dropped the ultimate one-liner bomb. She saw my two precious babies. The moment those words left his mouth, a passing blonde maiden gasped and protectively covered her chest. Some things never change. Yigu Lu, and your ability to create chaos with your words is one of them. Talk about a massive misunderstanding. When Luna, the village chief, saw Yigu Lu standing with his gorgeous cultivator Harem, her face turned bright red and she blurted out, "Your darlings?" Yigu Lu's soul almost left his body. "Not that kind of fairy. You've got it wrong," he yelled, a literal warning symbol popping over his head. Before his harem could deliver justice, he resorted to kicking the poor elf girl away, shouting the wildest line, "Come on, let Annie examine your body." With the chaos escalating, he quickly pivoted and assembled the village's most elite archers the next day. Surveying this beautiful but potentially lethal lineup, he mused, "This is the combat strength?" A smirk appeared. "Good shooting? Okay, I can work with that." And just like that, the once persecuted Immortal Master was now drawing up battle plans on a tactical board, back in his element. Chaos erupts at the sign-up for individual tutoring. Two eager elf girls practically fight for the first spot, their enthusiasm making Yigu Lu flush as he stammers out an invitation for close instruction. But his moment of awkward triumph is short-lived. Suddenly, familiar, murderous intent fills the air. The red-eyed demon lord Fei Hong crashes into the scene with a thunderous boom. Yigu Lu's soul leaves his body for the second time today. He bolts, screaming his signature line, "Why do I keep getting abused?" No rest for the wicked, as he immediately runs into another dear sister, Yin Yu Yu. Just as this domestic drama reaches its peak, a piercing alarm shatters everything. A breathless elf rushes in. "Village head, terrible news. The ORCS are here." Well, that escalated quickly. The harem comedy is officially on hold. Survival mode activated. The first spark of war ignites in the most unexpected, intimate corner of terror. A lone elven scout, soaked and terrified, huddles in a dark storehouse. The enemy is a day early. Ominous creaks sound from the roof above. All she can do is clutch her sword, her body racked with fear. "Stay away. Please no." But the hunter is already in the room. A desperate scream, a lunge of her blade. It finds its mark, sinking into a gray, shadowy form. But as the panic clears, horror dawns. She didn't hit her target. Standing before her, holding the very sword she thrust, is a pitch-black figure with glowing white eyes. She missed. Or worse, she never stood a chance. This is the brutal reality of overwhelming power. The orc prince, Zu Saadr, pins the valiant elf warrior with one hand, his sword's point resting against her vulnerable throat. She kneels, each ragged breath a whispered hoo-ah of despair, her eyes wide with the terrifying knowledge of her own defeat. Don't. Her mind screams, but her resisting arms are nothing against his corded, steel-like limb. Zu Saadr doesn't even need a menacing grin. His physique is the threat. And then, boom. No last-minute save, no heroic turnaround. When raw, absolute power crashes down, it shatters skill and courage into silence. Yigu Lu, is your strategy ready? Time is up. Run. Naive. The first act after Yigu Lu's transmigration kicks off in the most explosive way. Orc Prince Zu Saadr and his goons stage a full-on raid on the elf village. No matter where you try to escape, you're met with wicked laughter and hunting roars. Zu Saadr himself gets in on the action, effortlessly hoisting an unconscious elf maiden, casually ordering, "Capture every single one. Let none escape." Look at the captive elf sisters, each blushing brightly, as the prisoner line obediently forms up. Talk about an exciting welcome to the new world. The intimidation factor is cranked to 11. Orc Prince Zu Saadr makes his grand entrance, declaring his title, the 9th prince of the Orc clan, and slams his supremacist doctrine onto the elves' faces. "You were born to be our slaves. Now, kneel." That presence, that tone, who could withstand it? The elf maidens at the forefront, tears in their eyes, lips bitten, reluctantly lower themselves. "You think this is the end? Oh, you sweet summer child. Look at their eyes. That's not resignation. They're waiting for a signal. The signal has arrived. Just as the orcs thought they had it in the bag, the night air was pierced by the sharp whistle of incoming arrows. Pitch-black monstrosities grunt and fall to unseen attacks. The despairing elf maidens instantly find their voices, crying out and scrambling to safety. The late-arriving orc reinforcements survey the messy scene and sneer. Heh, reinforcements? What a waste. But the true mastermind, our hero Yigu Lu, has already issued the final order from the shadows. Everyone, stick to the plan. Focus fire on their leader. This is what I call professional. That big brain of Yigu Lu's, using the last vestiges of his formation knowledge, cooked up a special plan for the elf sisters. The sky fills with archers in formation, chanting ancient incantations that stir the very air. A torrent of arrows instantly turns the smug orc commander into a porcupine. Yet he still has the nerve to mock, "Ho? Someone's giving you orders now?" Meanwhile, village chief Luna turns to the hooded traveler with a mix of hope and doubt. "Are you sure this will work?" And as another bolt of white light ignites, a voice echoes the very same sentiment. "Don't underestimate me. This game of chess has only just reached the middle game. This, my friends, is a dimension of thinking they can't even comprehend." Yigu Lu's ultimate trump card is revealed at last. Did you think they were just shooting arrows? You couldn't be more wrong. He used each arrowhead as a sword, the battlefield his chessboard, instantly laying down a terrifying sword formation. O spirits of the north, from the 51st age, grant us an opening. This entrance shall be your grave. The leer on the orc commander's face freezes solid. Before he can react, the devastating power of the formation shreds him from all directions. Bathed in moonlight atop the roof, Yigu Lu finally breaks his silence. It worked, using arrows as flying swords to recreate a sword formation. This is the way of the Cloud Continent. You wanted to conquer the elf village with brute force? The cultivation genius just held a masterclass in tactics. And so, a new journey begins, right here in this cover. Everything starts anew, reflected in Yigu Lu's confident and determined gaze. We kick things off with a bang. The village is under attack from no ordinary grunt. This guy, riddled with arrows yet completely unscathed, that's Zu Sadr, the 9th prince of the orcs. That twisted smirk screams absolute contempt. How dare this backwater village put up a fight? How interesting. The tables have turned. With physical attacks useless, Prince Zu Sadr pulls out the big guns, or should we say the big cucumber. This glowing, pickle-shaped relic is the holy artifact of the orcs. The wave of spiritual energy that hits next is catastrophic. Every single elf present drops to their knees in agony, including the village chief Luna. Now this is what despair looks like, being utterly powerless. He wants submission over our dead bodies. As the orc prince cackles about subjugating everyone under his god's will, he makes one critical miscalculation: Luna's resolve. With tears in her eyes and the village on the brink, the silly chief makes the ultimate sacrifice, offering her own blood and life to the fire spirit for one final, desperate push. And here comes the ultimate sacrifice. Luna trades her life for the true level 6 magic, a pyroblast. The resulting explosion is terrifying enough to turn even the orc prince's face green with fear. A backwater village with a powerhouse mage. I'm done for. But oh, things just got weirder. Striding through the flames and debris comes an even more terrifying presence, axe in hand. With utter disdain, he glances at the chaos. A masterclass? If I hadn't shown up, you all might have actually held out. In the aftermath, the sweet elf village chief, Luna, is utterly devastated, blaming herself under the starry sky. And who offers a helping hand? None other than the legendary chick magnet himself, Yigu Lu. He whispers about how beautiful she looked in battle, but his hands are telling a completely different story. Poor Luna's face is turning violet, begging the traveler to let her go. But Yigu Lu just wipes the blood from his lips with a smirk. Ah, he's come to collect, has he? 3 maidservants and 1 pretty elf chief? The audacity of this man. That's his real masterclass. No rest for the wicked. Just after his little romantic interlude, a new challenger appears. What is this? Some kind of demon? Green skin, pointy ears, radiating pure menace. He looks down on our hero and scoffs. What's this weakling human doing here? The sheer disrespect. But Yigu Lu isn't having it. Even at his lowest, his pride remains. I am Yigu Lu, he declares, his gaze sharpening. But the demon just licks his lips, already fantasizing about gobbling this pretty human in one bite and dicing him up. You just waltz in and call the former god of a cultivation world a snack? The honeymoon phase in this new world is officially over.